it's Gareth here from Triggin Trail, and in this short video I want to talk about backpacks. When you get into walking, when you want to spend more time outdoors, the longer you walk, the more equipment you're going to need, the more gear you're going to need, the more food you're going to need, and kind of water you're going to need to carry. So it's really important when you're considering how to carry that, what you should use. I've got 3 backpacks with me today. One of them is the backpack I wear for walking. And I've got 2 other options that I have seen used by other people, and I'm just going to talk you through them, give you the pros and cons for them, so you can make a decision if you are looking to get into buying a backpack. The reality is, unless you're walking very short distances, you're going to need to carry something with you. If nothing else, food and water. I mean, there are certain things I think even if you're taking on a short walk, you should carry with you. You know, an extra jacket, something to keep you warm. Conditions can change really quickly, so a backpack is essential, and getting the right one is important. So I'm not going to specifically talk about anything today regarding the backpack to buy. I'm going to talk about what to look for, really. So firstly, if you're brand new to walking and you're just going for maybe an hour's walk in a local park, or you're taking on a short route somewhere near where you live, you just want the means to put something on your back to carry it so your hands are free. And for doing that, setting off, there's no reason at all why you can't use something like this, which is a gym bag, really. It's just a Nike backpack. You know, it slips over your shoulders. There's a good bit of space in the back. There's a couple of zip pockets to put things in. And internally there's a little section inside where you can keep your valuables. And there's also something else which all backpacks should have, if they're any good, and you certainly should get into doing this. I'm going to give you a little tip here. If you've gone in your car and parked somewhere, you've got your car keys. They can very easily fall out of your pocket. If you put them into the bag, they can soon come out. Most backpacks will have something inside like this. You're not able to see that, but that is basically a hook for keys. Whenever you leave your car, as soon as you've locked your car, you should clip your keys into your backpack so you don't lose them. Because I can tell you now, I know people who've done it. If you've gone on a walk and get back and all of a sudden you can't find your keys, and you've walked, you know, even 3 or 4 miles, and you've got to go back and try to find your keys on there, it can be a thankless and an impossible task. So all backpacks will have some place to clip your keys in, so always clip your keys in. Right, so this is a little night bag. I use it for the gym. I think this was about £15 from one of the local sports shops. Nothing fancy, but it will do the job if you're just having a short walk. You know, you take your family out, you go out by yourself, and you just want to carry some gear. And when you're starting off, there's nothing wrong with using things like this, I don't think. You know, just get out there, you've got some good shoes on, strong shoes, pair of trainers maybe. You know, you've got some decent trousers, a jacket that's waterproof in case you need it, and something like this, and you're good to go where you're walking. And like I said, most people have this in. But the longer you walk and as you get more into it, you know, this won't do for long. As your walks become longer, you're going to need to carry more stuff with you, and really you want a backpack that's more suitable. Now, a step up from that kind of backpack, which is like the very kind of the cloth, very light, very unwaterproof version of a backpack like that, is you can step up to something which I call more like a commuter rucksack. And this is what you see people maybe travelling to on trains when they go to work. It's more of a heavy duty rucksack. It's designed to carry a bit of weight. You know, you see students with them, they'll have books in, laptops in, and that's something like this. And this is my version of that, which is made by the same company who make the Swiss Army knives, Wenger. And this is a backpack that's much heavier. It's much heavier than the Nike backpack. Very heavy duty. It's got a good handle on it, and it's a great backpack if you are kind of commuting, you want to carry stuff safely. Lots of pockets, good space inside. Ironically, not a lot more space than this, but there is more space. But the big difference with this is it's incredibly heavy. I've worn this on my back travelling and been on a couple of trains, and I've got to say, even after an hour or so, it really starts to hurt. It's just too heavy. And the one thing this has, as this has also, is, if you notice at the side here, they have like a little bit of meshing, and that's for putting a water bottle in for easy access. So I'm sure you've all seen people wearing these kind of backpacks, and again, I've seen these used on walks. They're just too heavy, to be quite honest, to make them anything like usable. But again, you know, if you've only got one of these and you want to try walking, it's better than nothing. But after an hour or so wearing this, you'll start to feel it on your back, especially if you've got some weight in it. So I have seen these used on walks. If I'm honest, if you're starting out, it's fine. But once you know you're going to be enjoying your walking and you want to do more of it, you have to ditch these and get a proper walking rucksack, backpack. I don't know why. What's the difference? Backpack, rucksack. I'm sure that's interchangeable. I've got a backpack that I'm going to show you now, which I think is pretty perfect. I think as far as the size is concerned, it just does everything I've ever needed it to do. I do have two backpacks I use for walking. One's a much lighter version, but this particular one is by a company that make backpacks called Osprey. And this is an Osprey Stratos 26. Now, what you'll find with backpacks that are for sale in walking shops, they'll generally have a number attached to them. That number, the 26, it means that's how much volume it can take. This will take 26 litres. So this backpack itself has 26 litres worth of storage. Now, again, I can tell you now, you can't obviously feel this because you're watching this, but this is incredibly light. It's not as light as the Nike, but it's way lighter than the Wenger commuting backpack. And this is built specifically for walking. And on walking backpacks, you'll notice certain things that are kind of quite common. One is, it's made out of a material which is, it's not waterproof as this one, but it's water resistant. It's a much tougher fabric. You can kind of see this could get roughed up, and you could, run this up against trees. You can give it a good pull. There's a very robust feel about it. Because, if you do a lot of walking, certainly some of the conditions you're walking in, some of the terrains with trees and things, you need a backpack that's not going to rip easily. Just like the other two backpacks, you've got the pockets at the side of most walking backpacks. These can be used to store anything, again, water bottles, but they can be used to store clothing. Walking poles can go in there. So that's really, if you think about it, all the same as well. They have this internal kind of space. Now on these two it was zippable. On this one it's done with a draw cord, so you can put your stuff in and tighten it up. But the big difference between a good walking backpack and these backpacks is how it attaches to your back. They'll all attach with a strap across the front. I'm going to put this on in a minute. But what this has, it's got like a frame at the back, if you can see that. So this bit goes onto my back, and there's a gap in there. And that gap in there allows the air to flow. When you're walking and you've got a backpack attached, in warm weather you will sweat a great deal if it's attached directly to your back and it touches your back, and that can be uncomfortable. These have something, they call it air speed, but it just allows your back to stay cool. Also on these, the straps are very robust on walking backpacks, and they fit on you. I'm going to put it on now. Fits across here. Straight away I can tell you this feels very comfortable. And what these have, which the other two don't, is they have these compression straps on your chest to keep your backpack attached to you. There's one on your chest, and there's one I'm going to show you here, which is around your waist. So that's how your backpack attaches. You've got your shoulder straps, chest compression strap, and then a waist strap. And this waist strap takes a lot of pressure off your back as well. I'll come back down. The thing about a backpack is this one's very light at the moment because there's nothing in it. But the minute you start to put any equipment in it at all, it starts to get heavier. And although a lot of us do walk, and we might walk every day, you might walk for your bus, you might walk to work, it's very different when you're walking with a weight on your back, because that weight, as you walk longer, starts to feel heavier. When I've got this fully loaded, it can be up to sort of 15 pounds, which, it doesn't feel that heavy when you set off, but it does start to feel heavy after a 15 or 20 mile walk. The thing with the backpack of this size, 26 litres, it'll cover most things you want to do with it. It'll allow you to do a full day's walk. It'll allow you to walk in winter because you can carry the equipment you need clothing-wise. And also it's set up so there's lots of straps on the side. So if it's not full, you can really kind of tighten these compression straps, so it doesn't feel like you're wearing this huge empty backpack. All walking backpacks will tend to have some kind of place at the top to put things you need quickly in, because sometimes when you're walking and you just want to get something out, you don't want to get everything out of your backpacks. There's lots of pockets in this particular one. And again, this will be the same on any walking backpack that's decent anyway. They'll have lots of pockets where you can put things in there, like there might be your snacks. You might want to put in things in there, like, if you've got anything that you want to get your map out, or your compass can go in there. And again, just like the backpacks I talked about, they've all got this in again, which is the key holder. Again, I'm going to say it again, I'll say this in every video I do when I talk about backpacks. Always clip your keys into your backpack before you set off. Avoid losing your car keys en route. So you've got good pockets, plenty of pockets on the outside without having to open it. Inside, lots of space. You can get jackets in there, layers in there, your food in there, a flask in there, gloves in there, spare hat in there, whatever you might want to carry, a lot of space for that. And then one of the things that a lot of good walking backpacks have is you won't be able to see it until I open it up, but although it's water resistant, it's not waterproof. But a lot of them have a rain cover. This comes with a particular rain cover. A little green thing. So what you can actually do, you can get that out and you can put that over your backpack. So if the conditions get bad, you can protect your backpack somewhat on whatever's inside. I like this as well because if you're ever out in very dark conditions, it makes you a bit more visible. So if you ever were to be out and unfortunately got lost and people need to find you, you're a little bit brighter with that. That's easily seen from distance, a bit more than the kind of the darker colour of the backpack underneath. And a little tip I'm going to give you is, if you get the chance to go out and it's raining, you can always keep your gear inside your backpack warm. I always put my gear inside a plastic bag. Well, I used to. I've actually got a dry sack now. And what you want to do is something inside here that, again, is waterproof. So like a plastic carrier bag will do, or a dry sack. So even if the rain's so bad that it gets through this and gets through this, it won't get through your plastic bag or your dry sack. So 26 litres I think is big enough. I've loved this backpack. Like I say, it's not a product review, so I'm not here specifically talking about the bits and pieces and what it does. All I will say is a good walking backpack should be about 26 litres. That'll keep you going for a day in the hills. You should always have this back on, this frame, so it's away from your back, so allow some air to flow through it. And you should always have good strong straps on it. These are not cheap, but they're not that expensive. A good backpack, you can start looking around about £50 will get you a decent backpack. Clearly the Nikon was 12 to £15. There's obviously a lot more of an investment in this, but this thing will last you a long time. I've had this a few years now. It's done many walks. It's been up the 3 peaks of Yorkshire. It's been up the national 3 peaks. It's been in some really kind of rough conditions, and it's still in really good condition. I do love Osprey, if I'm honest, and I do love their gear, and this backpack is light and wonderful. So that's really my kind of views on backpacks. You're definitely going to need a backpack if you're walking regularly. You can start off, if you're just getting into walking and you want to see what it feels like, you can use anything to carry your stuff. But the minute you say, yeah, I'm going to do more of this, get one of these, it will pay dividends. Because one thing can happen, if you go out with the wrong backpack on, it can rub your shoulders. First of all, it can cause blisters if it rubs, and I have seen people with blisters from backpacks. But it doesn't carry the weight the same as something like this with the straps around the waist and around the chest. Helps to get the weight more equally distributed about your body and makes carrying a load much easier. You know, if you walk 15 miles wearing that backpack and then try walking 15 miles wearing this backpack, I can tell you will notice the difference. So again, I know most people on a budget when you're buying a backpack. Buy the best you can buy, but don't be silly. You don't need to be getting a huge backpack that's got 50, 60 litres in it. 26 litres is big enough, and if you've got £50, you get yourself a decent backpack. But with a decent backpack, you're good to go, and this will enhance your experience of walking outdoors. So there you go, just a few thoughts on backpacks there for you. If it's any good, please consider subscribing and give the video a like. So there you go. Backpacks. Take care.